It's one of the most unbelievable fucking concepts that I've been taught to this day. I did not create this. This came from actually Veloce Esports coach back in like 2020, I think. And it's literally just, it breaks down the game so fucking simply. It's awesome. And this is what pretty much 10x'd my coaching, which is that indicator's here. He's going to assume this guy, the guy that's here in this zone, is going to play 2/3. So technically these guys are in a 2/3 position, depending on how the ball develops. If it transitions, then he's going to be, it can be that if the ball transitions, then this guy becomes third, and then he takes the ball, and then he, rotates here. And then now you got this.
Back, then you go second, I go third.
Yeah. Or it's like, or the ball goes back here, then this guy is technically supporting him, so he takes the ball, and then you're three. So you're technically in a 2/3 position, depending on how the play develops. So the main thing for you is just to take a fucking real quick swivel here, and not to get sucked out, because you can kill an offense so fast, so fucking fast, and it can be confusing, and your teammates will be able to compensate for you, but you're not going to really get anything concrete. When the truth is that when it comes to playing offense here, like, you should be squeezing water out of stone. And look, like here, because you're caught in all these different positions. So the main problem, the main issue, I see this issue manifest in a lot of different ways. The main issue is that a lot of second men think they need to play close in what's called by this one coach a layering system. They think they need to run a layering system, which is their two runs like this and then rotates out if it doesn't go anywhere, and then the third's here. And that never works, because there's usually a guy that's right here on defense who's rotating out. And then it usually can be that when this guy is out of position that he should be normally covering that pass, now it puts so much pressure on the third, who is usually kind of not really in a position to do this and to stuff that out. But he usually ends up in a spot where he's like out of position kind of, and he's like right here. And then they could rail a shot for like no fucking reason. It's just like, you just like allow them to have a counterattack. It doesn't work. And I can send you these links to all these coaching things where I've done, where I was actually really disappointed that there are some supposedly pro coaches that are out there teaching this system. The way that this manifests is that the decision here is like, you think, okay, I'm covering sideline technically, but what happens is instead of dividing the field like this, you divide it like vertically, so like this. So it's like, why is that bad thing? Again, you're not able to link up with your guy. What it should be is that you're forcing defenders in a 2v1 position no matter what, because this guy has to cover shot and pass type thing if they rotate flat, right? If not, on a regular defense, they're going to rotate like this mid. This guy's covering pass, this guy's covering shot, and this guy dives to force the play in so that he can now take the ball. Standard shit, right? But
it's like with soccer, kind of.
Yeah, it's a lot like soccer, but vertically, if you divide it vertically like you do, where you're like pivoting on and off, it doesn't work. Mainly because look at how much easier this is if this guy's covering this and you're here. And then watch how this play develops if you're like right here and you're right there. Like, you can land a shot. They're fucking awkward. Do you see that? But because you're like slalom all over here, now when you need to go to take the shot, you don't even have an angle because you're right here. You know what I mean? I mean, look at this. Look at it. Look at how simple this is. And this is practical. This isn't some like stupid shit where I'm like, no, you guys should be here, and it's unpractical. Like, you should be here and you're cruising like this and you're here, and then you can turn on. Or more realistically, what's it going to look like actually in the game? Because you're not going to be pointing straight forward knowing that this ball is going to drop there. You're going to be in what's called a half turn, as you're going to be like this. You're going to be facing kind of the inside of the field, but you're ready to turn in, but also ready to turn out at a moment's notice. And this is the fucking golden ratio. That is Fibonacci. This is something that I learned way back, that I noticed that Atomic did, and now he plays for G2 and he runs all kinds of regionals, dude. But I was like, dude, he is so good at doing this. And I was just like trying to emulate it. And then it didn't occur to me until years later when I got way better at the game. This is how you do it. You literally gave up a goal because you wanted to go this way. Yeah. You get how this whole decision, like, did you get how all that played out in the formation?
Yeah, because I got caught in the play.
Yeah.
Caught in the flow, pretty much.
Yeah, so you got to take a swivel. You got to like to ask yourself, like like lay down the check marks in terms of decisions. Like, is second man covered on sideline? Yes. Come third. You already see a guy on the ball. Guys on the ball, is second man covered? Usually there's 100% usually going to be a guy on the ball. So mainly your question that you're going to ask yourself is there a guy covering him on the opposite? And okay, well then I rotate third. And then what do? So you just kind of just cruise and you see what's going on. And if you note that they look awkward, then you can take your position that's more passive and you can push up, and then you can rail this and you have an angle and everything. That's all.